Welcome to Wild Girls Gone Sober Outdoors.
Woo!
Well, we're back. It's been a little while since we've posted. The COVID has definitely made it a challenge to get together. We've been trying to appropriately social distance, but we couldn't resist anymore. So we're outside enjoying the beautiful Florida weather.
In paradise.
And I'm Amy, and I'm an alcoholic.
And I'm Lindsay, and I'm an alcoholic. And thank you for joining us today. So we're just going to do a little COVID recap.
Mm-hmm.
A lot's been going on with COVID, and now so it's May 1st.
Yes.
We are reopening in Florida, slowly but surely.
Yeah, some things opened today. A lot is happening on Monday. We have our Governor DeSantis has done a staged reopening plan. So as of Monday, restaurants will be able to open at 25% capacity and
Correct.
social distancing and things like that. Some things like elective surgeries, which I kind of thought was funny because we have a ton of plastic surgery down here.
See, I was thinking of old people.
Oh, I was thinking of boobs.
Okay,
That just made me
that's so
think
funny.
like, oh, people can get their boob jobs. Well, that's good.
Is it 25% of them, or
Except
just everybody?
Palm Beach is still not open for those
Mm.
things, so Palm
That's
Beach
true.
County can't do it. So probably less boob jobs. Who knows?
So,
But things are starting to loosen up, and it's different in different areas. I mean,
Mhm.
my family lives in Massachusetts, and I think you have family in New York, and they're
Mhm.
probably a similar situation where they're still on lockdown. It was really interesting. We were, not to get too deep in the COVID stuff, but we were, Jay Snow and I were looking at the stats of Massachusetts compared to Florida because, you know, my family is like, oh my God, it's Armageddon. And I'm
Right.
like, I don't know, we're kind of like starting to open stuff back up down here. I'm not freaking out. But the state of Massachusetts is a quarter of the population of the state of Florida.
Mhm.
And they have something crazy like 12,000 more cases than we do. And in the county my family lives in, they have like 5,500, 6,000 cases. And we have like 300 in all of Martin County.
Have you checked in on them? Is everybody okay?
Yeah, they're good. I mean,
Okay.
they've been super careful, social distancing. My mom has been like on lockdown in her house forever. She's selling her house, which made it really complicated because she put it on the market. It was not on the market long. It sold really quick, like
Oh.
a couple of weeks before she got an offer, and they're under contract now. But my mom's kind of a germaphobe anyway. So having people come into her house right now, she was like a freak about. She was
Oh,
like
God, I
wiping
can't
down
imagine.
every surface in the house when she came back, and like signs everywhere, please don't touch things. And it was challenging.
I have been like that, and I'm not selling my home. I have wiped everything down. I've probably cleaned the house more than I ever have,
Yeah.
ever. And I'm.
No, I
Seriously,
really
like-
miss my cleaning people though. The cleaning people shut down. Oh, white girl problems.
Yeah, those are
Champagne
champagne.
problems.
Well, not champagne problems. I have to call them
problems.
something else now.
Really?
Well, 'cause we don't
That's
drink
right. I didn't
champagne.
even think about that. I just said that the other day. Champagne problems. That didn't even cross my brain. But anyhow,
Horse
yeah.
problems, we'll call them.
Well, that's a champagne problem. Anyhow.
So we just wanted to take a minute and let everybody know that well, first of all, we appreciate you tuning in. And if you have anything that you'd like to add to anything that we're saying or have any opinions, you can email us at wildgirlsgonesober@gmail.com. And we're working on a logo and getting our Facebook and our website
Mhm.
up and running. So as soon as that happens, you'll be the first to know about it.
Yeah, there's so much more we want to do,
Mhm.
and we definitely want to get in a rhythm where we're doing this regularly, and we want to be on podcast platforms, and we want to have a website with resources for you guys. So, you have to forgive us. We do work
We're working-
full-time
and we're working
careers,
on it.
and we're in progress. So today was a good business meeting, in addition to getting to chat with you.
Absolutely. So Amy and I have talked a lot about, and we always do, about how AA has been a really big platform for us in continuing to be sober. I didn't get into AA till about, 3 months,
yeah.
and that was because of Amy went. So the COVID's put a little halt on people being able to get to meetings.
Right.
And you've been really good about doing online meetings. And you had a bunch of great suggestions for first timers. So we just wanted to go kind of give a little, what worked for us and how we feel like that translate into what's going on now with COVID and people just rightfully so being hesitant about going back out and being around big groups of people and
Right.
holding hands. And
Well, and meetings aren't
hugs.
happening right now. I mean, it's
Right.
not. I guess the thing I'm most gut wrenched for people who are right now, recognizing you have a problem and needing help and wanting to stop drinking and not having a physical meeting to go to. Because for me, like, you're a rock star. Lindsay, like, white knuckled it the first 90 days. Like, she had her therapist, she had therapy. So there was a tool there, but for me, like, I grueled through my first few weeks, and I was at meeting daily. If I could have just sat in a meeting hall all day, every day for the first 3 weeks, I would have. Like, I really needed it. So my heart breaks for people I see online. Like, I'm on a Facebook group called Women of AA, which is a great group to join and a good, like, way to be connected and learn. And I see people post, like, I need to stop drinking, or I'm relapsed, or whatever, or it's day 5 and I'm losing my mind. Like, I'm seeing that, and I'm so heartbroken for these ladies who can't get to a meeting. Like, it's awful. So, that being said, I have been able to stay pretty connected. My home group, which is local in my town that I live in, has been doing a Zoom meeting. And so it's great. Like, I connect in a couple times a week. I get to see their faces. I get to, like, it's familiar people. It's people I know and have developed in-person relationships with. And now I get to continue to connect with them.
Right, and that's great. Like the Zoom, Facebook just has a platform. I know Google launched a newer addition to their platform. But, like, for me, I don't have a home group. So that's awkward. I'm not comfortable sharing my space, even if it's just a digital bubble, like my space, with people that I'm not comfortable with. And I guess I just haven't done enough research for the group that I do go to more frequently. But it is interesting because I didn't consider those people that close, but now that I don't know what they've been up to, and so they're a little bit older, and again, we're in South Florida, so I worry about our old timers that you know who.
I know who.
But you were mentioning, what was it called?
So there's a couple of sites that I've logged into. I've experienced some meetings. There's intherooms.com. Which is great. It's been around for a long time, and they have, I believe they have a 24-hour meeting that goes, and they also have different meetings at different times that focus on different things. So if you've never been to meeting, they tend to have different topics. So sometimes it's discussing the big book, sometimes it's going over steps, sometimes it's talking about their traditions, sometimes it's a speaker meeting where people are sharing, or you listen to a particular person share, and then people get to share at the end. So there's different types of meetings. So when you go on intherooms.com, you can see the description of what they are. For brand new, early on newcomers, I would tell you speaker meetings are probably what you're going to find most comfortable. No? I love it when she disagrees with me. That was comfortable for me because I was so I was so uncomfortable that the pressure wasn't on me to participate, and I got to hear things that I could relate to that made me realize I really did need to be in those rooms. Because I think early on you're still like,
what's going on here?
Maybe I'm not really.
I don't want to be associated with
these
crazy people.
Yeah. So intherooms.com, that's a great one.
I would try beginner meetings because, or try them all.
Beginner meetings are great.
That's basically what they say in meetings anyways, is try them all. I get what you're saying about the speeches, and I do agree. I still love a good...
I forgot about beginner meetings, though. That's a great, that's absolutely true. Like, beginner meetings are gonna give you etiquette.
Yes.
Like, you'll learn what you're supposed to do in a meeting, when you're supposed to talk, how you're supposed to introduce yourself, when you should just shut up and listen, that kind of thing.
And that really helps about getting a sponsor. And then on that website, what is it called again?
intherooms.com.
Okay. And then you mentioned one when we were discussing this earlier, kind of what we were going to talk about, one where you might be able to find a sponsor, because that's where you learn a lot of etiquette too.
Well, I wasn't necessarily saying find a sponsor. I mean, I think everybody should. But if you go to aa.org, you can put in your zip code, and it's going to direct you to your local intergroup, which is what, like, groups pay into to be kind of part of the bigger AA and get their meeting listed and all these things. So intergroup has, like, all the resources, and it's us manning intergroup. It's AAers answering the phone and helping people. So I would really recommend finding your local intergroup, pick up the phone, call the person who's answering the phones, and ask if there's a local Zoom meeting, because you're gonna interact with people who live in your area, that you might be able to, when all this is over, go to that local meeting and spend time with those people, or connect with somebody or somebody might speak that you're like, oh, I really like them, they seem like good people, and you can chat with them and message them and be like, hey, I'm brand new, I need somebody to help me.
And just like it's good to get comfortable talking in the rooms, it's probably really good to get comfortable on a digital aspect of it too, because when meetings do open up, not everyone's going to be comfortable. And also, this might just change
How
the
we
way
do
the world
things.
operates. I mean, this is gonna be very interesting to see what the new norm is.
Yeah.
And as your new norm is changing with all these different things, from the people you see, how often, not going out to the bars and doing different things, it's kind of a good opportunity to just get in that digital space, and where you can reach out 24/7 really, because there's going to be meetings happening all the time, as opposed to maybe not if your local town or city doesn't have them all the time,
Well, and it's changed, like, right now I can't hang out with my sponsor, right? I call her most days, but I can't get together with her. We were just starting step 4 work. I'm a little slow on the steps. We were just starting step 4 work, and this whole thing happened, and now I really haven't kind of done it. And so we were just talking the other day, and I was like, you know what, why don't we, like, she sent me all this stuff to do, and we're gonna do like a Zoom face-to-face, because she has Android, I have Apple, we can't FaceTime, so we have the option of doing Zoom meetings so that we can continue to meet and do our step work. So
that's great. Yeah, for me, I had just gotten a sponsor, a temporary sponsor, however you want to call that.
Yeah.
And I haven't reached out to her, and I checked on her, I think that right when this happened, and then I haven't reached out. So,
Right.
I mean, that's my bad. I've been trying to make an effort, because this whole COVID thing's got me a little stir crazy and a little nuts, and I didn't realize how important that human interaction was. And so I've been trying to call one person I haven't talked to, like, instead of calling my family, trying to FaceTime or chat them, to see them. And I find that that's like lifted my spirits, like, more than I thought it would.
you're so cute.
And so that's been like one thing I'm trying to do, just to not be so like isolated.
Yeah, so maybe
You know?
let's talk about that a little bit, because that was really all the resources we had, right? Was there? Oh, when we were
Right.
saying books and things like that, now's a good time to download reading
Everything.
materials. Yeah, but reaching out, like, I think the connection with people right now is huge. But that's where I'm like, I'm so worried for you, those of you who are brand new, because it's such an uncomfortable time. Like, you feel like garbage. You feel like a piece of shit.
Like in the beginning, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
like, you're embarrassed, you're ashamed, you feel like a piece of shit, you think you're not, you're horrified that you're saying you're an alcoholic. Like, you're going
exhausted.
through, you're exhausted. Like, you're going through so many things right now, and so I'm so, like, that's why I'm having a hard time for you guys. Like, I'm heartbroken for you guys.
You've been doing so good at responding to everybody.
I'm
on
trying
your
so
groups.
hard. I really am. I'm like a little social butterfly in the AA groups.
Did
And
you-
so many people are, but I think it's important. I do. But like you said, reaching out to people. But if you're in a space where you're really down and out and you're just brand new sober, like, that's why I think the video meetings local are important, because it's going to give you someone to have a human connection with that is nearby, so that when things loosen up, you have a friend, you have someone you're going to grab a coffee with, like, you have someone that's going to be there for support. And it is, nobody gets us like us. Nobody. And it's important. Sorry.
No. And
Yeah.
I just think it's important too, like, you have all this time, and one thing that we were really fortunate about in a beginning of our journey and going to these meetings and doing all this stuff is we had a very loose work schedule, right? So people that flexible, sorry. Loose is a dirty word. A very flexible work schedule, where we think about if we had what you might call standard banker hours,
right.
we would have never gone through it the way that we did. And it was really amazing because we did it together, but we also had the time to go to a noon meeting, go to a 1 o'clock meeting. And so with the devastation of not being able to work, or whatever situation you might be in, try to use this time to focus on those things. I mean, I don't walk without listening to a book on tape even now, or trying to do something or to use that time. I mean, you've been reading and podcasting and kind of absorbing all the info.
I think early on too, like, it's so helpful emotionally to know that everything you're going through, everything you've done, everything you're ashamed of, everything you think like, oh my God, I don't ever want anybody to know any of these things about me because I'm the worst person in the world. You read these books and you're like, oh, that kind of sounds like my story. Like, oh, I'm not the only one who like secretly threw up in a plastic bag in the corner and like hid it so nobody knew I was sick. Like, you know, whatever, come up with like,
you used to throw little wine things off the side of the road.
Right, whatever you think your worst story is, you're gonna find that you are not the only one. We've all, you know, maybe we all haven't done all the exact same things, but someone in that room has. And it's even reading these books like Sober Diaries, and I'm reading right now Unwasted, and we just finished what was the one we just finished? The Unexpected Joy of Being Sober. Great things to read, like, and I don't mean to only list women's books. There's great. I hear great things about Russell Brand's book. I haven't read it yet.
Read it either. It's on my list.
The Naked Mind is written by a man, isn't it?
No, it's Naked by a lady, but I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. But
okay. But anyhow, reading those helps to show you, I think, that you can relate. Like, we all have been through it and felt like garbage, and it gets better, and it gets better fast, and you just gotta hang in there, but connect somehow.
Absolutely.
And I like ate that stuff up early on. Like, I couldn't read enough.
Oh, I still can't read enough. I mean, we share our books and lists all the time. You're really good about listening to podcasts. I do listen to I don't listen so much. I listen to the books. I just listen to Demi Moore's memoir, which was amazing.
I don't listen to as many sober podcasts, though. Like, I talk about podcasts a lot, but I really, there's really only one or two sober podcasts that I have found that I really have stuck with, that I like. There's a couple of podcasts I listen to that the podcasters are people I know are sober, so I like them. But it's not necessarily about sobriety, so it's kind of funny. But I do like podcasts. I like listening to podcasts in the car when I'm driving.
Yes, even ours.
Or I know, even ours. I listen to ours a lot.
What we're going to start doing too is posting on our Facebook about just some resources that we, as we're going through them, you know, you read them with us.
Yeah.
Right? Share
and we're here for you
feedback.
too. Like, message us, email us, contact us. We'll give you all our info at the end of the podcast. But for sure, like, we're here to help. If you're new or if you're not new, and you know, you just want to chat, we're here. We're happy to be there for you.
And also, you made a really good point. So we're all like home. We've been homebound. People that maybe are in their new early sobriety. Number one piece of advice.
Suggestion. A very strong suggestion. De-alcohol your home.
Not sure if that's a word, but de-alcohol your home.
Dump that shit out. Don't even worry for a second. You know, I get it that some of us in the beginning, and I was one of them.
You were, but it bothered you.
Well, it didn't right away, but it took me. It was after my 30 days. Like, my first 30 days, there was still booze in my house. My husband's a normie. He drinks beer. He really doesn't drink hard alcohol, and he drinks like 2 beers a night, if that. Not every night, like, but most nights he comes home, he has a couple of beers after work, and he's fine. But
I
you're
had
a home
drinker.
I am. I had vodka. I had wine. I'm pretty sure I had a box of wine under the cabinet. I had like all kinds of booze under my cabinet. I had a bottle of champagne someone had given me as a gift.
A box of wine delivered afterwards.
Oh my God, seriously. Oh my God, I had a case of wine that got delivered to me that I had to give to my mother-in-law, because who still does not know that I'm sober. She just knows I'm not drinking.
Really?
Yeah, no, I haven't gone there.
That
was a whole nother podcast. But I didn't get rid of the alcohol right away. I made it through those first 30 days with that there. And then I had a moment where I was thinking about it so much that it freaked me out, and asked my husband to get rid of it all. But if you're new, if you're like, I need to stop and I don't know how to stop, and you're home and COVID bound, just dump it. Just dump it. Dump it out. Just take it off the table. You know what? If you decide in a month or two that you're not really an alcoholic and you think you can control your drinking and you want to go back to the normal world, you can always buy more. But if you're struggling right now, just don't even have it in the house. Don't even let it be a question mark for you. Get rid of it.
Right. It's like, you know, buying the box of Oreos, and then you know you can't just have one Oreo. I'm just speaking about myself.
Right. When you're on Weight Watchers, don't have the Oreos staring you in the face.
And don't even buy the 100-calorie ones, because you know you're going to eat more than just one package.
Right.
So for me, I I didn't have alcohol in my house, and my boyfriend did not either. And so actually there wasn't my house and not at his house. He doesn't ever have alcohol at the house. Only when I was there was there alcohol in the house, because I like to make sure there's alcohol there, right? Like,
Jesus.
You don't have another bottle when you get home?
Right.
But I do remember we had some wine it was around Christmas, and I recycled it. I repurposed it. I brought it to wherever I was going to kind of give as gifts. I don't suggest that being a good idea because I didn't even feel comfortable.
Right.
I remember holding the bottle. It was odd, even as I was...
This might jump in my mouth.
Just somehow, right? Yeah. And like even just having those, you know the way you put the wine in, those wine bags?
Yeah.
When I was moving and I was getting rid of stuff and going through, and I had this whole holiday box of like wrapping paper and all this, I got rid of them. I'm like, why do I have 35 wine bags?
Right. I don't need to give people wine
right.
gifts anymore.
So I just got rid of them. I'm like, I could use them for something else. And I got rid of them.
Good
so
for you.
That, yeah,
I love that.
Purging through, but definitely de-alcohol.
Yeah, de-booze the house. Get rid of it. It's not worth it. It's so easy when it's right there. And that's, I see people post about relapse.
Constantly.
Yeah, and especially early on. Like, what you will find, I hope, is that the longer you're sober, the easier it will be to stay sober. The beginning is the worst fucking part. Like, the first 2 weeks, I was a train wreck. And then my first 90 days, like, it was work. And then it got easier, and it got easier, and it got easier. And I'm just over 7 months right now, so I'm still baby sober, right? I'm still a new sober. And now I feel pretty solid. Like, now when the thought occurs to me about drinking, not necessarily thinking like I could drink, but when it crosses my brain, I'm so quick to be like, a glass of wine wouldn't be enough.
Right.
2 glasses wouldn't be enough. It's not enough unless I drink the bottle and then another half a bottle. Like, that's when I'm happy, is a bottle and a half of wine in. Like, I know it now. But it took me 6 months to get to that point. So if you take it out of the house, if you take it out of the equation, just muscle through, eat some chocolate, eat your feelings, do what you gotta do. Like, give yourself permission. Don't fucking care right now. Just anything you have to do not to drink today is all that matters.
Yeah, and like for me, it was like, well, I can't imagine not drinking for forever. I can't imagine doing X, Y, Z, whatever it is. But but now I feel like, if I could do it, anybody can do it. And that's probably, that might be how you're feeling, is a sense of like, this is so hard for me, but you don't understand, but this and this and that. And it's like,
we do.
Everybody does.
We do.
And it's an interesting journey, and it's a great journey, and we just really want you to hang in there. And relapse does not have to be part of your story.
Right.
We're proof of that, really, once we really, said we were doing this, we did it. And not just like, we did it and everything was fine.
No, we did it hard. We did it hard.
And there's roller coasters. I mean, even going through this COVID.
Sorry, the lawnmower's going off
over
there.
But even through this COVID, I mean, if you managed to stay sober through this, kudos to you. Like, I really haven't even thought about it. Like,
no, and I one of the things that I said a little while ago was, not here, but a while back, I was saying, like, it's surprising to me to see people who've got a lot of time saying that this is hard, because I feel like it's exactly what we trained for, like in early sobriety. Like, we stopped going to bars, we kind of hid at home, we didn't want to go to parties, we didn't really want to socialize because we felt weird and awkward and crazy and failure and whatever we were feeling. So we didn't want to be around people, so we kind of secluded ourselves anyway. So I feel like, if anything, this should make it a little easier, because you can't go out to a bar. Nobody's having a party right now. If you're in sales like me and networking was your great excuse to drink, there's no networking happening, so that's not your
There's Zoom meeting.
We can circle back to that. But my point being, like, you're stuck at home. Get rid of the booze that's in the house, and you're good to go. Like, that's what we've been training for.
That's exactly what I keep saying. I've been training for this.
Yeah.
And even then, it's still making me a little stir crazy.
See, I don't feel that way, and I guess I'm super lucky. I mean, I work in a field where we haven't stopped. It definitely changed a little bit. I work in life safety, so I work with, like, fire alarms and sprinkler systems, and those things have to get tested and inspected no matter what. So I'm still talking to customers and
Socializing
and
out with them a
closing
little bit.
deals. Yeah, not necessarily in person. I mean, in person is definitely still the like, hi, and I'm wearing a face mask and we're doing the whole thing. But I still get to get in my car and go to a site and walk a building and like do those kinds of things. So, and I guess I think part of not feeling stir crazy is because we live here where we do. Like, I feel bad for people like my family who are where it's cold and they're trapped inside and it's snowed until like last week.
Oh God,
like,
I know.
It's insane. And here we are, you can see like paradise, right? And we get
74 degrees today.
Gorgeous. The sun's shining. It's beautiful. Like I'm very fortunate. I live on the water. It's a nice view. Like I don't feel cooped up. I don't feel crazy. We've got
Well, see, I work from home now, so I
to check in. Like, am I hungry? When's the last time I ate something? Am I mad at something I need to deal with? Am I lonely? Do I just need to pick up the phone and talk to somebody? Am I tired? Should I take a nap? Like, it's telling you to check in with yourself so you know what's causing this anxiety feeling and you can address it and move on versus our go-to coping mechanism, which is to drink and not feel bad.
Right, it's to not feel the feelings. So as you're addressing feeling the feelings, because it's one thing I've read, like celebrities quoted, it's like, oh, I got my feelings back is the positive, but then the negatives, I got my feelings back, right?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like how to address them of why you might be feeling like you want to drink. Like, oh, it's probably because I need to eat, or like you said, so halt. So we're just going to do a quick little wrap up because I want to make sure this is...
Yeah, sure. So just get connected. If you're, whether you're new or not, there's so many online resources right now. Join a Facebook group. There's a million of them out there. Google online AA meetings. A million things will pop up. There's other things that are not AA as well. We're not saying AA is the only thing out there. It's free. And it's super accessible, and that's the reason I say it's the first go-to. But there's a ton of other resources as well, and if you thank God for Google. If you Google it, it'll all show up in your face. And I don't necessarily recommend anything else because I didn't do anything else. We just did AA
Therapist.
and therapy. Yeah,
That
and
was a big part.
there's so many online therapy options now too. So we use an app called Nomo, Nomo, which we lovingly nicknamed Nomo Fun in the beginning. But that's not true. We have a lot of fun. But Nomo has a piece to it where you can actually get a resource to online counseling. I think it's paid, but there are there are other online counseling services.
Right,
too.
and now they're even more affordable, is
Yeah.
what I hear, than like actually going to the therapist through your insurance, because
Yeah, my therapy was
it's
like
just, like,
$150
expanded
a
more.
session. That was crazy. to me.
yeah, my new insurance is good again, so
Oh, good.
I'm lucky there.
Good.
But yeah, reach out, and if you want to shoot us an email or a topic or something about COVID or something that's really helped you, whatever that might be, please feel free to on wildgirlsgonesober@gmail.com.
And you can stay sober wherever you are.
We just choose to do it in paradise. Till next time.
Till next time.